Hey guys, I hope everything is well. So today, this morning, I just finished running 18 and a half miles in the snow. Um, I might try to run again later today. Essentially, I've been trying to make up for mileage that I missed this week because, I don't know, based on my voice right now, I'm still kind of getting over a little respiratory illness. So that obviously was kind of frustrating. So I missed 2 days. And right now this week I'm at about 79 miles, so pretty much close to 80 miles with only doing 4 days of running so far this week. And then I normally take every Sunday off, so I'll probably still take Sunday off and try to get back to it next week. Yeah, also it is a blizzard outside, so conditions not really the best. But when I ran my 18 and a half miles in the snow this morning, I kept it easy. I actually ran 16 and a half miles yesterday before it snowed at around 7:24 pace. Um, and then today I wanted to do, tempo run because it's normally what I do on Saturday. But, just kind of getting over the illness and the conditions, I decided to keep it easy. It is tough with making up mileage because, I don't want to injure myself. Taking those 2 days off, I still tried to move around, tried to stretch, so I made sure I wasn't just sitting on my ass all day because movement is always good, even being sick. So I walked a couple miles, made sure I was, moving around, even around the house, just, being on my feet. Um, and yeah, I mean, it sucks. I don't really like being sick. It's been like about over 7 months since the last time, and I'm starting to kind of finally get over it. I've been taking a couple different things that, is supposed to help with that. Um, but yeah, I really today just wanted to kind of recap, a couple of my, I wouldn't even say like peak mileage, but a couple of really good weeks that I had. And I wanted to just kind of go over them and share with you, like the obstacles that I had and how I was able to overcome them. And I hope that could inspire you guys. So, first of all, um, I kind of just write down everything on this Google Docs and, I'll plan out my week and then I'll be modifying it constantly. I make a lot of changes and essentially, I'm actually going to see if I can share my screen. It's my first time really doing a self-reported Zoom meeting, so it should be interesting. Yeah, so as you could tell, basically, what we got right here is this is like my training log. So all my previous weeks, I kind of log it in here and then that's my YouTube channel. And then right here is, my current plan. So as you could tell this week, originally I had a lot more miles that I wanted to put in. But yeah, being sick and all. So I really wanted to actually recap these weeks right here. So this, yeah, I called it a goated week. So I ran 111 miles this week, and that was from the 17th to the 23rd. And then the week before that, I ran 114, which is from the 17th. So, okay, I actually wrote that wrong. Um, yeah, it looks like, okay, the 114-mile week was right over here. That was the 17th to the 23rd. Then this must have been the 24th to the 30th. Now, I know a lot of people do things differently. For me, I always consider Monday to be the first day of the week and Sunday the last. Some people consider Sunday to be the first. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I always consider Monday to be the first day of the week. So when I look at my week, Monday this is the first day, and Sunday's the last day, and Sunday's my rest day. So that's a 6 day stretch where I'm running, and I consider this whole thing to be, this whole thing right here is the week. Um, so yeah, I was gonna recap these 2 weeks and basically, just kind of go over, like a lot of the adversity that I had to overcome and all that stuff. But first, I'm gonna actually go through this week quickly. So, um, geez, I really got my dates all messed up. Okay, I'm sorry. This week was the 24th to the 30th. It looks like this week was the 17th through the 23rd. And this week must have been the 11th through the 17th. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Uh, oh, shoot. Um, Yeah, you know what? I don't really know what to say at this point. I mean, um, yeah, I really messed up my dates, but you know what? Regardless, it doesn't matter. So this week, I know for sure because today is yeah, November 29th. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I thought my Thanksgiving was okay, but it was frustrating not being able to run. So, anyways, this week so far, I ran 12 miles easy in the morning, another 9 miles in the evening. Then I actually had a really good track workout on Tuesday, and that was so I started really feeling my illness after doing this second run, and it was very raining and foggy. And that's when I first started noticing it. And the next morning, I took some Tylenol and powered through a track workout. So I did a 2.5 mile warm up, pretty slow, and then I did 10 by 800. And that was actually a pretty good workout. So the first rep was terrible. I don't know, my legs were just not feeling it that first rep. So that was about a 7 minute pace, which obviously for an 800 and trying to do speed work is not very good. Then already the next rep, I brought it up to 612. And then the last 8 reps were all sub 6 minute pace. Definitely feel like I pushed myself. And as you could tell, the Apple Watch data, it's kind of funky, but this is about as accurate as I'm getting. So 552 pace for the third rep, 558, 546, just pretty good, 551, and then the last 4 reps I would say were all pretty strong. 49, 46, 47, 46. So that's a 10 by 800. I used to for my track workouts really only do 6 by 800, which is like 3 miles of speed, which I considered. But now, we're trying to get faster. We're trying to get to a higher level of fitness, really involves pushing myself. So doing 8 by 800, 10 by 800, which I did this week, and last week, 6 by 1200. So really, the track workouts are great because you're running on a track, so it's a different surface. Um, they're not as taxing on your body, in my opinion, as pretty much any of the other running you do, especially tempo runs, because you're not doing it continuously. And for me, I normally run along sidewalk, concrete. So obviously that is going to be more taxing. But yeah, I mean, it's a great way to work on speed. That along with doing some strides. Um, and then, after the track workout, so in total, I did like a 4.5 mile cool down. So that was about 13 miles in the morning. And then I did another 9 miles. And that was kind of when I, was feeling sick. So the next 2 days I took off from running. Wednesday, I still had to work. It was terrible that day. It was 20-mile-per-hour winds. It was not fun. And then Thursday, for the most part, I rested. I walked about 5 miles in the morning. I try not to be outside too much. And I kind of walked a lot of laps around the gym and then enjoyed some Thanksgiving football, food, family, all that. So then Friday, I was still not feeling 100%, but I did 16.5 miles. And that run was weird because I had a lot of stuff to do that morning. So I kind of did this run in the middle of the day. So I wanted to double up, but you know, um, yeah, I pretty much started this run at 12:50 and ended around 3. And then today, yeah, as you could tell, pace wasn't really there. This morning I ran 18.5 miles. It was all in the snow. And my pace was about 8:17. According to my watch, my cadence is still 171. So overall, I'd say, it's not a bad run. It is frustrating not being able to run at the pace that I normally run at for easy runs. And obviously, it's just a lot harder to run the snow. As you can tell, it is still, well, I know you can't tell because you can't see it, but it's still snowing pretty hard right now. I wanted to do another run later today to kind of make up for that mileage, but I'll have to see how I feel. I also just hit legs in the gym. I'll have to see how are the conditions, how am I feeling. Overall, I feel a lot better, but like, I want to fully recover from illness, be 100%. And on top of that, even if I'm not sick, it is tough to decide because as much as I love running and love getting that mileage in, 18.5 miles, pretty much back to back long runs. And if I do another run of, wanting to do 8 miles, that means I basically ran a marathon distance today if I do that. And, um, yeah, make up mileage. I mean, it's tough because it's like it sucks missing these days, but then at the same time, if you make up for it by doing a huge amount of mileage, that could also lead to injury risk. So obviously, I finished this run by 9:52, and like I said, with wanting to do 8 hours of rest in between, runs on double days, that means that if I'm going to do my second run, it would be at around 5:52. So that gives me another, 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's a decision I'm gonna have to make, and hopefully, whatever decision I make, it turns out for the best. Regardless, though, even then, just being able to hit 80 miles in a week where I only ran 4 days, I feel like is pretty good. Still, not it sucks not being able to do that tempo session, but at the same time, having a really good track workout, and then yeah, now I'm going to be working a lot with peak season, and I've also decided to go full time as an Amazon delivery driver. So it is going to be a lot harder to fit all this in, but it's just something that I'm just going to have to, really push through. And obviously, job is one thing, but the weather is another. So that is just a totally different beast. The idea of doing indoor speed workouts, really, yeah, I don't like the thought of it. On top of that, the idea of running indoors, period, sucks. I do have a track at my gym, so that's better than running on the treadmill. But running is just meant to be done outside, and that's why I've also looked into moving to Colorado after this year because I think they overall will have much better year-round weather, probably better trails. It'll be pretty affordable, and yeah, and they also have high altitude, so you can get so much more benefit from that than just running in this stupid cold and snow. So that's that. Anyways, I'm sorry if you're kind of going on. So now the real point of this video that I wanted to get to was these 2 weeks right here. So we'll start off by honestly we could take it back a little bit further. So after the marathon, I was kind of disappointed. But you know what? I kind of shifted my mindset, and I ran 2 hours, 52 minutes, 54 seconds. Um, I did not feel any pain at all. I felt like I still had a lot of energy, and yeah, which is pretty crazy. I mean, you know, already now after knocking down some of these huge weeks, I really am looking forward to my next marathon, which is on May 3rd, and I'm hoping to do a lot better, which I definitely think I'm capable of doing. But regardless, 2:52, 54 is not a bad start, especially for my second marathon and first time finishing a race. So after the marathon, I took 3 days off of running. I did some other activities like playing some basketball, some swimming, some biking, and then by the time it was Thursday, I was good to go. So I finished this week, doing just a lot of easy running, as you could tell, and I still finished with about 46 miles, which is pretty good for a half week, and also pretty good for, week after marathon. Then I started, going back to what I wanted to do. So this week I did 90 miles. Um, and, I didn't really so I didn't do a track workout this week. And my tempo run, it wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be. It was like 8 miles, 6:58 pace. But the last couple miles, I was able to do sub 7. And again, just kind of like, the last several months not having good speed workouts, plus still kind of recovering from the marathon, not bad at all. So I finished that week with 90 miles. Then, and I did actually lots of strides, so that was good. Then this week over here, I was able to get up to 95. So I realized, that I'm at the point where I'm capable of, doing 10, 11 miles and then doing another 7. Now this day was funny because I did technically 3 runs. I pretty much joined a run club called the 515 Run Club, and they meet up at Gray's Lake. And they only run 2 miles, and I kind of just wanted to join them to make friends, but I still ran 2 miles with them, so that was cool. And so this day I pretty much ran 19 miles. Then I did a track workout the next day, and like I said, didn't really go as planned. Normally wanting to do sub 5 minute pace, but still, um, not bad given the fact that it had been a while since I've done a track workout. And then yeah, and then for my tempo run, it was actually a lot better. So I did 8 miles and around 6:47 pace. And first mile, felt good. Next mile, yeah, a little rough. And then after that, yeah, I mean, overall, definitely not a bad run. Um, Now, the next week, so this is where things just start to ramp up. So, I had done 95 miles and now I wanted to keep going. So, hey guys, at this point in time, we're going to be taking a little break and I'll see you in the next video.